Question 1. The foundation of effective HVAC system sizing relies on accurate load calculations. Mr. Ortega is preparing a sales proposal for a 4000 SQ or high-end residential retrofit in a coastal area. The existing home uses older single-pane windows, minimal attic insulation, and the homeowner complains of inconsistent temperatures and high humidity. Mr. Ortega is tempted to upsell a larger system to ensure cooling performance. However, the architect warns that oversizing may cause cycling issues. What is Mr. Ortega's most appropriate next step in preparing his proposal? A. Recommend the largest available unit to maximize cooling during peak summer months. B. Use manual J to perform a room-by-room load calculation before recommending equipment. C. Base the equipment size on the square footage of the home using rule of thumb. D. Match the size of the old unit since it previously met most of the customer's needs. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Manual J calculations are the approved method for determining precise residential HVAC loads. Oversizing can lead to short cycling, increased energy costs, and poor humidity control. Rule of thumb or legacy sizing methods are inaccurate, especially in older homes with changing insulation and fenestration. According to CAM Manual J and Energy Star standards, proper load calculation is essential for energy efficiency, occupant comfort, and equipment longevity. Mr. Ortega must not default to upsizing as a sales strategy, as it may violate ethical guidelines and best practices in load-based system design. Question 2. While examining a recent sales interaction, Roman, an HVACR sales manager, discovers that one of her junior sales reps offered a customer a 10-year warranty only available with premium installation packages, even though the client was quoted for a basic install. The customer signed the contract based on that verbal claim. What is Roman's best course of action in this situation? A. Honor the warranty since the customer has already signed and was misled. B. Reprimand the sales rep privately but allow the deal to stand as is. C. Cancel the contract and reissue it with correct warranty details and pricing. D. Offer to upgrade the installation at no extra cost to match the warranty promise. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. According to the FTC's Truth in Advertising Regulations and HVACR Industry Ethical Guidelines, ASHRAE and NACAG Code of Ethics, verbal promises that influence purchase decisions must be honored. While retraining or disciplining the rep is appropriate, failing to meet the implied contract could result in legal consequences. Offering a warranty that wasn't part of the original offer is deceptive, and the company must assume responsibility. Transparent correction that favors the customer protects brand integrity and ensures compliance with consumer protection laws. Question 3. In the context of refrigerant compliance, a commercial customer asks sales technician to top off their R22 system instead of replacing it. Knows the system is leaking, but the client insists they cannot afford a replacement this fiscal year and asks for a quick fix. How should handle this situation? A. Agree to top off the system with recovered R22 to reduce cost. B. Refuse the service and walk away from the customer entirely. C. Explain EPA rules prohibit topping off leaking systems and offer a temporary legal solution. D. Proceed with the top-off as long as no refrigerant is knowingly vented. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Under EPA Section 608, topping off a leaking system is illegal unless the leak has been repaired. ISTA must inform the customer that it is a violation of federal law to recharge a leaking system and suggest compliant alternatives such as a temporary retrofit or isolation of the circuit. Refusing service without offering solutions is poor customer service, while performing the illegal service could lead to EPA fines for both technician and employer. Ethical salesmanship involves staying compliant while educating the client. Question 4. The development of a consistent HVAC sales pipeline requires accurate forecasting. Galvez manages a regional team and notices that several reps consistently overestimate close rates on high-value commercial projects, which later fail to close. As a result, monthly revenue projections are off by more than 20%. Which strategy would most likely improve the accuracy of forecasting? A. Increase pipeline targets to account for expected attrition. B. Implement a weighted pipeline model based on historical close rates. C. Require reps to submit updated forecasts weekly instead of monthly. D. Only allow deals over 50% confidence to be included in the forecast. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Weighted pipeline models, which assign probabilities based on historical data, e.g. 25% chance to close at early stage, 75% at proposal stage, produce more accurate forecasts. Overestimating based on optimism or intuition leads to misalignment with operations and finance. According to HubSpot, Salesforce, and HVACR sales best practices, accurate pipeline modeling supports budgeting, inventory planning, and staff allocation. Weekly reporting, C, adds burden without improving the model's structure, while option D artificially limits visibility into future opportunities. Question 5. Through the lens of performance assurance, Mr. Alvarez is working on a proposal for a new duct system in a multi-zone office. The architect insists on locating all ductwork above the drop ceiling in a narrow plenum, leading to multiple long runs and sharp elbows. What should Mr. Alvarez highlight to the client as the biggest concern in this duct layout? A. Poor access for service technicians in the future. B. Aesthetic disruption from ceiling penetrations. C. Excessive static pressure losses reducing system efficiency. D. Condensation risk from insulated ducts. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Long duct runs and sharp bends increase friction losses, leading to higher static pressure and lower airflow delivery. According to ASHRAE Fundamentals Handbook and Manual D, excessive pressure drops can cause blower motor strain, noise, and uneven cooling. Static pressure should be minimized using smooth transitions, short runs, and large radius bends. While service access and aesthetics are important, the most critical impact here is performance degradation due to poor duct design. Question 6. In response to price pressures in a competitive commercial HVAC bid, sales manager Mr. Dorsey is considering a steep discount to close a large volume contract. However, the gross margin analysis shows the project would fall below company minimum thresholds. What is the most prudent action for Mr. Dorsey to take? A. Proceed with the discount and absorb the margin loss to gain future referrals. B. Rescope the project or adjust deliverables to preserve minimum profit margins. C. Submit the bid as is and hope change orders will improve profitability. D. Offer the discount but cut technician labor to compensate. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Sales managers must prioritize profit margin integrity even in competitive markets. By value engineering the scope or offering phased delivery, Mr. Dorsey can keep the customer engaged while protecting margin targets. HVACR businesses commonly use margin floors to ensure sustainability. According to HVACR financial management best practices and NOB guidelines, winning unprofitable jobs erodes brand strength and strains operations. Betting on change orders, C, or cutting labor, D, introduces risk and quality issues. Question 7. A critical examination of refrigerant characteristics reveals trade-offs in efficiency, safety, and environmental impact when comparing R400 TINA and R32. What is a key advantage of R32 over R400 TINA? R32 is non-flammable while R400 TINA is mildly flammable. B. R32 has lower global warming potentiator and higher efficiency. R32 operates at significantly lower pressures than R400 TINA. D. R32 is compatible with all existing R400 TINA systems. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. R32 is a single component refrigerant with roughly 1/3 above R400 TINA 675 versus 2088 and better thermodynamic efficiency. However, R32 is classified out, meaning it is mildly flammable, while R400 TINA is non-flammable. It also operates at similar or higher pressures and is not drop-in compatible due to different oil requirements. According to ASHRAE Standard 34 and EPA SNAP rules, new system design is required for R32 use, but it offers clear environmental and performance benefits. Question 8. From a practical standpoint, Mr. Chen is trying to improve motivation within his HVAC sales team after missing 3 consecutive quarterly targets. He suspects burnout and unclear expectations may be factors. Which approach is most likely to restore morale and drive performance? A. Offer a one-time bonus to top performers. B. Replace underperforming staff with new hires. C. Introduce individualized performance coaching with clear KPIs. D. Increase sales quotas to create urgency. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. According to Gallup and Harvard Business Review, studies on sales motivation, long-term performance improves through coaching, clear KPIs, and individual development plans. One-time incentives create short-term spikes, while turnover and pressure may worsen morale. KPIs aligned with achievable goals and feedback cycles build ownership. In HVACR sales, understanding territory dynamics and providing targeted skill build yields better engagement than punitive or quota-driven methods. Question 9. Considering the evidence, a commercial client complains of hot spots and poor air quality in their open plan office despite recent equipment upgrades. Technician notes show low static pressure and no alarms. Which diagnostic step should be prioritized? A. Verify refrigerant charge on rooftop units. B. Conduct a below motor amperage check. C. Measure airflow at diffusers and check damper positions. D. Replace return filters and flush drain lines. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Airflow distribution is often the root cause of comfort and IAC complaints. Balancing dampers, diffuser throws, or blocked zones may prevent proper mixing. According to ASHRAE 62.1 and Manual T, airflow verification is a primary diagnostic tool before evaluating cooling equipment. Equipment performance. A. B. May not address airflow and field strain issues. D. Affect system health but facial temperature variance. Question 10. With the advent of smart contracts and digital signatures, the trend is finalizing a $300,000 HVAC retrofit agreement via e-signature. The client insists on a termination clause allowing cancellation without penalty within 48 hours of equipment delivery, which conflicts with the company's prepayment and delivery terms. What is the trend's most appropriate action? A. Reject the clause and insist on standard terms. B. Accept the clause to close the deal quicker. C. Consult legal and propose mutually acceptable modification. D. Add verbal agreement to override the clause later. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Contract terms must be legally reviewed when conflicting with standard business practices. HVACR sales managers must protect company interests while negotiating fairly. Verbal side agreements. D. Are unenforceable. Under Article 2 and state contractor laws, delivery and payment terms are binding once accepted. Consulting legal ensures enforceability and risk mitigation while preserving customer trust. Question 11. From a historical standpoint, split and ductless systems have been used to serve different market needs. Is Kinney working with a historic home renovation client who wants high-efficiency cooling but cannot modify the original plaster walls or ceilings? The home has no existing ductwork, and the homeowner is concerned about aesthetics and system visibility. Which system type should Kinney recommend to address the client's needs most effectively? A. Standard split system with floor duct chases. B. High-velocity mini-duct system with attic routing. C. Packaged rooftop unit with extended duct runs. D. Ductless mini-split system with concealed wall-mounted units. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Ductless mini-splits are ideal for retrofits in structures where installing full-size ductwork is invasive or impractical. According to ASHRAE Standard 55 and Manual S, ductless systems offer zone comfort, high SEER ratings, and minimal disruption to historic interiors. High-velocity systems B. Are viable but require attic access and still some ducting. Rooftop units. C. Are rarely feasible in retrofits. Split systems with new ducting. A. Would damage plaster finishes and create aesthetic concerns. Question 12. The effectiveness of HVAC sales begins with lead quality. Mr. Daniels launched a digital campaign offering free estimates which yielded 150 responses in 2 weeks. However, 80% of respondents failed to meet financial or project readiness criteria. What adjustment to his lead generation strategy is most likely to improve qualification rates? A. Stop offering free estimates and require deposit upfront. B. Target broader demographics through social media influencers. C. Use pre-screening form to assess budget, timeline, and need. D. Offer an instant quote tool without requiring customer details. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Pre-qualifying leads through forms that assess project readiness, budget range, and urgency increases efficiency. According to HVACR sales funnel best practices, high-volume unqualified leads strain resources and demotivate sales staff, while free estimates attract traffic. Not filtering them wastes time. Influence their outreach. B. May increase quantity, not quality. Instant quotes. D. Without data, offer little value, requiring deposits. A. Too early can reduce lead engagement at the top of the funnel. Question 13. Among the various HVAC heating systems available, Istajang is working with a commercial facility in a temperate climate that wants energy-efficient heating and cooling with reduced carbon emissions. The building previously used a gas-fired boiler and packaged AC, which upgrade aligns best with their goals. A. Replace with a high-efficiency condensing boiler and keep AC. B. Switch to a dual-fuel system combining furnace and heat pump. C. Install a geothermal heat pump system for heating and cooling. D. Add economizers to the existing system and keep the boiler. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Geothermal heat pumps are among the most efficient and environmentally friendly systems for both heating and cooling. According to DOE guidelines and ASHRAE 90.1, geothermal systems can reduce energy use by up to 50% over conventional HVAC. Condensing boilers still rely on fossil fuels. Dual fuel systems B. Are more efficient than single stage gas but still emit CO. Economizers D. Help cooling efficiency but don't eliminate heating emissions. Question 14. The central argument for successful objection handling is aligning solutions with customer concerns. During a proposal meeting, Paulson's customer says, your system is great, but it's 15% more expensive than the other bids. What is the most strategic way for Paulson to respond to close the sale? A. Offer to match the lowest bid to retain the customer. B. Reiterate the system's features and warranty coverage. C. Ask what elements are most important and reframe the value. D. Suggest removing add-ons to lower the price. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Effective objection handling involves value-based selling where the salesperson redirects the conversation to customer priorities. According to HVACR sales methodology, Sandalus-bin selling, asking clarifying questions builds trust and reveals decision drivers. Repeating features. B. Is passive and price matching. A. Diminishes perceived value, reducing scope. D. May harm performance or long-term satisfaction. Question 15. Examining the consequences of inadequate safety practices, Decker discovers his install team has been skipping ladder inspections on job sites to save time. One technician slipped, resulting in a sprained ankle. What should Decker do immediately to comply with OSHA and prevent recurrence? A. Fire the technician for failing to follow procedure. B. Send the team to ladder safety training and document new policies. C. Place warning signs near ladders and continue current practice. D. Require technicians to sign a waiver before climbing ladders. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Under OSHA Standard 1926 Subpart X, employers are responsible for training workers in the safe use of ladders and ensuring equipment inspections. Decker must take corrective and preventive action, including training and policy reinforcement. Firing without training doesn't address root causes. Signs and waivers. C. D. Do not satisfy OSHA's duty to provide a safe workplace. Question 16. Taking into account performance imbalances, Lopez notices one sales rep closes 60% of leads while another rep with the same territory closes only 20%. Which action would best help Lopez balance the territory and improve performance? A. Divide the territory geographically and assign leads based on zip code. B. Conduct joint ride-alongs and evaluate sales interactions in real time. C. Reduce the quota for the underperforming rep and see if results improve. D. Transfer all leads to the top performer to maximize revenue. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Sales ride-alongs allow managers to observe how reps interact with customers and uncover coaching opportunities. According to Harvard Business Review and HVACR sales training principles, real-time observation and feedback improve close rates more effectively than reassignments. Geographic restructuring A may not address skill gaps. Lowering quotas C may reduce accountability. Giving all leads to one rep limits team development. Question 17. To better understand a malfunctioning rooftop unit, Mr. Dyers evaluates a cooling core and notes that suction pressure is low, superheat is high, and subcooling is normal. Which condition is most likely occurring? A. Overcharge of refrigerant. B. Non-condensables in the system. C. Restriction in the metering device. D. Failed compressor valves. Answer. Correct answer C. Explanation. High superheat and low suction pressure suggest underfeeding of refrigerant, commonly due to a restriction at the TSV or capillary tube. Normal subcooling indicates the condenser is operating properly. Overcharge A would increase suction and subcooling. Non-condensables B would raise both pressures. Compressor valve issues D typically result in low head and low suction but erratic superheat. Question 18. The prevailing attitude toward customer information management is shifting due to rising cybersecurity threats. Mr. Benoit stores all HVACR client data, including service history and addresses, on his personal laptop. What is the primary risk with this practice? A. Legal exposure due to data breach and lack of encryption. B. Difficulty in transferring data to other salespeople. C. Inability to print invoices directly from a central system. D. Lack of mobile access to customer records. Answer. Correct answer A. Explanation. Storing customer data locally without encryption or company policy control creates high legal risk under FTC safeguards rule GDR or state data protection laws. HVACR companies must protect personal information such as billing data and system access details. Centralized CRMS with audit trails are industry best practice. Convenience concerns BD are secondary to liability risks. Question 19. In contrast to older commercial designs, modern HVACR proposals emphasize health and ventilation. Is Granger's proposing a system for a daycare facility and must prioritize IAC? Which feature is most essential to meet current IAC expectations? A. Oversized return ducts for better recirculation. B. HEPA filtration with MERV 17 or higher. C. Demand-controlled ventilation with COE sensors. D. High-efficiency heat pump with variable speed blower. Answer. Correct answer C. Explanation. ASHRAE Standard 62.1 mandates proper outdoor air ventilation for occupant health. In daycares and similar spaces, co-based demand ventilation ensures fresh air delivery while maintaining energy efficiency. HEPA B is not practical for all HVAC systems and can restrict airflow. Oversized returns A don't improve IAC directly. Variable speed blowers D enhance comfort but aren't IAC specific. Question 20. The correlation between brand identity and customer retention is significant. Mr. Patel notices that HVAC firm gets strong one-time project wins but struggles with recurring service contracts. Which marketing change is most likely to build long-term brand engagement? A. Launch a seasonal discount program. B. Create a branded maintenance agreement with value-add perks. C. Low pricing on installations to attract more customers. D. Rely more on word-of-mouth referrals. Answer. Correct answer B. Explanation. Branded maintenance agreements build recurring revenue and increase customer lifetime value. Offering perks like priority service or filter delivery ties customers emotionally and practically to the brand. According to Serviceton, HVACR Marketing Institute, and Nexstar Network, long-term loyalty requires programmatic touchpoints, not just low pricing. Discounts A can cheapen value perception. Pricing alone C doesn't ensure retention. Question 21. In the absence of structured feedback, Mr. Santiago notices declining morale and inconsistent performance in his HVAC sales team. His company just launched OERM, but some reps are resisting the tool while others have adopted it fully. What is the most effective strategy Mr. Santiago can use to improve engagement and performance? HRConquer use mandatory and enforce penalties for non-compliance. B. Reward TRMUs and provide group incentives for full adoption. C. Hold monthly meetings to review sales goals but see CRM metrics. D. Reassign leads only to reps who voluntarily use the CRM system. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Positive reinforcement encourages behavioral change. By recognizing and rewarding effective ERM usage, ISTA Santiago can build team-wide buy-in. According to Harvard Business Review and Hub's ERM adoption studies, incentive-based rollouts outperform punitive approaches. Mandatory enforcement, it can backfire, and ignoring metrics. C. Undermines accountability. Selective lead reassignment. D. Breed resentment. Question 22. Upon closer examination of a failed residential HVAC system, a technician finds that the contactor coil isn't energizing even though the thermostat is calling for cooling. Voltage across the coil terminals reads 0, but there is 24 from the transformer. What is the most likely issue? A. Open low voltage wiring between thermostat and contactor. B. Blown high voltage fuse in the main disconnect. C. Compressor internal overload trip. D. Incorrect refrigerant charge causing high pressure lockout. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. With proper 24 power available but no voltage at the contactor coil, the issue is likely an open in the control wiring, possibly due to a broken thermostat wire or failed safety device, e.g. float switch, high voltage fuses. B. Affect compressor power but not control voltage, compressor trips. C. Wouldn't prevent core voltage, and a refrigerant charge. D. Affects system performance. Voltage at coil terminals. Refer to NEC 2023 Article 725 and HVACR Electrical Diagnostics Protocols. Question 23. The core principles of HVAC business health include understanding job-level profitability. Is Bennett reviewed? A job that met revenue targets but had an unusually low gross margin due to unexpected labor hours and warranty callbacks. Which practice would help prevent this issue in future jobs? A. Increase all labor quotes by 20% to create a margin buffer. B. Assign junior techs to non-critical jobs to reduce cost. C. Implement post-job reviews to compare estimates versus actuals. D. Use flat rate pricing to ensure consistent profit. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Post-job reviews, aka job cost audits, identify variances between estimates and actual performance. This feedback loop helps improve future bids and labor projections. According to HVACR business accounting standards and SMAPMA job costing guides, tracking performance by job leads to improved margins. Flat rate pricing. D. Helps customer communication but doesn't fix internal estimation flaws. Across-the-board markup. A. Reduces competitiveness. Question 24. To illustrate this point, ISTA Dyers is selling an HVAC upgrade for a large gym. The customer is focused on minimizing odors and airborne contaminants during peak occupancy. Which ventilation enhancement should ISTA Dyers prioritize? A. RC lighting inside the ductwork. B. Upgrading to MERV 16 filtration. C. Increasing outdoor air with energy recovery ventilation nerve. D. Using portable HEPA scrubbers in workout zones. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. According to ASHRAE 62.1 and CDC guidelines, increasing outdoor air and using ERV systems improves air dilution and exchanges, which is more effective in high occupancy spaces like gyms. MERV 16B may increase static pressure beyond system capacity. YVCA is supplementary and effective mostly for core cleanliness. Portable scrubbers. D. Offer spot filtration but systemic ventilation improvement. Question 25. By comparing standard contract practices, ISTA Morgan is reviewing a bid in which the customer wants to delay final payment until 90 days after project completion, despite the company's 30-day terms. What is the most appropriate response to protect company cash flow? A. Accept the 90-day term to win the deal and build goodwill. B. Add 2% late fee clause for payment beyond 30 days. C. Propose progress, payment schedule tied to project milestones. D. Request personal guarantor for the delayed balance. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Progress billing protects cash flow and aligns with industry practices for projects longer than 30 days. According to AIR contract models and HVACR project finance guides, milestone payments reduce risk of non-payment. Late fees B help deter slow payment but don't eliminate risk. Personal guarantors D are rare in commercial contracts and may delay negotiation. Accepting extended terms they drain operational cash. Question 26. From multiple perspectives, Istavelo is designing a rooftop HVAC system for a data center. The client emphasizes low downtime, precise temperature control, and redundancy. Which of the following components should he prioritize in his proposal? A. Standard Lotia with constant speed fans. B. Economizer with mixed air dampers. C. Variable frequency drives VFDS or supply and exhaust fans. D. Time-based defrost controller. Answer. Correct answer C. Explanation. VFDS improve precision in airflow control and energy efficiency while allowing dynamic response to load conditions. Critical in sensitive environments like data centers. ASHRAE TC 9.9 and thermal guidelines for data processing environments recommend redundancy and tight temperature control. Economizers B may introduce humidity issues. Constant speed systems A lack responsiveness. Defrost controls D are more applicable to refrigeration units, not precision cooling. Question 27. What factors contribute to successful HVACR consultations beyond technical knowledge? Is Shepard often interrupts customers mid-sentence to clarify questions or move the conversation forward, thinking it improves efficiency? What negative effect is this most likely to cause? A. Improved conversion due to assertiveness. B. Reduced trust and customer satisfaction. C. Better recall of technical details. D. Shorter consultation time and increased bookings. Answer. Correct answer B. Explanation. Interrupting customers, even unintentionally, reduces perceived empathy and trust. HVACR clients often have limited technical knowledge, and feeling heard is key to decision-making. According to Forbes Sales Council and HVACR communication training, active listening improves rapport, while impatience can be seen as dismissive. Assertiveness without empathy decreases close rates. Question 20. With respect to cooling large commercial buildings, is Tullius comparing air-cooled and water-cooled chillers for a downtown office high-rise? What is one advantage of water-cooled chillers in this scenario? A. Lower maintenance cost and simpler design. B. Reduced water consumption compared to air-cooled. C. Higher efficiency at full and part load conditions. D. Better suited for rooftop installations. Answer. Correct answer C. Explanation. Water-cooled chillers offer superior energy efficiency, especially in large buildings, particularly when used with cooling towers to reject heat effectively. According to ASHRAE 90.1, they outperform air-cooled units in both load conditions due to consistent condenser temperatures. However, they require more maintenance and water usage. Air-cooled systems are easier for rooftop installs, but less efficient. Question 29. During the process of internal territory realignment, two HVAC sales reps are disputing over high-value accounts. One claims seniority, while the other cites performance metrics. Mr. Holmes must resolve this before it escalates. Which approach is most appropriate for long-term team cohesion? A. Split the accounts evenly regardless of past ownership. B. Assign based strictly on historical revenue contributions. C. Mediate a discussion and align assignments to customer and company needs. D. Reassign both reps and give the accounts to a third neutral rep. Answer. Correct answer C. Explanation. Conflict resolution requires facilitated dialogue and aligning decisions with strategic goals. According to Dale Carnegie at ARM Conflict Models, ownership and performance should be part of the discussion, but the ultimate decision should reflect what best serves the customer and the company. Avoiding the conflict A. D. reduces trust and strict performance allocation. B. can fuel resentment. Question 30. The general consensus is that local visibility is key to HVACR business growth. Mr. Emerson wants to expand his firm's presence in a new suburb but has no past projects or reviews in that area. What tactic is most likely to build rapid brand recognition and trust? A. Purchase keyword ads targeting competitor names. B. Partner with a local builder or community organization. C. Offer deep discounts for first-time customers. D. Run TV ads on regional cable networks. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Strategic partnerships with local stakeholders, like builders or civic groups, build community credibility quickly according to HVACR marketing consultants and score business guides. Co-branding and trust by association outperform paid ads or discounts and long-term ROI. Competitor keyword ads A can backfire ethically. TV ads D are costly and less targeted.